Let's get underway.
Welcome everyone to Underway. We have an illustrious guest for you today. He hails all the way from Birmingham, England, but more recently you can find him captaining Monterey Bay FC and being a mainstay on that back line. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nico Gordon. Nico, thanks so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice to meet you, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a busy time of the season right now, so I wanted to thank you for taking the time out to visit us here on Underway. By the time this interview comes out, there will be 3 games left in the season.
Mhm.
What are you making of your first season in USL?
Obviously, I was in America last year, coming from England, so I kind of like adjusted quite quickly. And just the USL in general, I think it's a really good league. I think it's challenging. I think there's some good talent in the teams, and especially in our team as well. And I think it's just it was a good step for me to come here and try and develop my career.
I mean, like I mentioned up top, you are the captain of the squad, and it's only your first season with the team. You're
Yeah.
a relatively young guy, and these
Mhm.
types of opportunities to lead a team don't really come around that often for someone so young.
Yeah.
How did the captaincy come about, and what does it mean to you to be able to rock that armband?
I think first of all, it's definitely important to say that I'm really grateful to be captain. Obviously, as I said, I'm 23 years old, and we have a mixed team, some older guys, some younger guys. But as you said, I'm one of the younger guys, and so obviously it's big for me because it's always good to know that people can look up to me and I can lead the team in a way, especially from the experiences that I have growing up in England. And as I said, last year I was in Texas with North Texas, where I was the captain, and we won the championship there. So to come here and be captain again is was a big honor for me. And I hope in my career I can keep having this role because it's really a good role for me to learn and to give advice to young guys when I was once young and in their
Mhm.
shoes, and also to learn from older guys how to lead the team.
Yeah, I mean, I know, when you're younger, you're looking at the captain to kind of, make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing on the field. What's one thing that you kind of didn't expect to take on with that role?
Me as a captain in general, I like to lead by example.
Hmm.
So, I always look for the older guys to help me communicating with others, and they do a good job of that. So I just make sure every day I try and train my hardest, how I would play in the game, and in the games I just try and always be on top and prepare to have a good battle.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
I think we can say that the season hasn't turned out the way everyone wanted to or thought it was. But even with that, like when this comes out, there's 3 games left. Monterey Bay could still make it to the playoffs. What's been the messaging from head coach Jordan Stewart going into the tail end of the season?
He's just pushing us every day. He's just making sure we can improve, and he's just making sure he stays on top of us. And
Hmm.
in football, you never know. You win one game, and things can turn around. I think in the games we've just been like very unlucky, especially towards the end. And I think it's just a case of all just being together now and just believing and just working hard. I think he's still trying to keep a good mentality, and obviously you never know, as I said. So we're just working hard every day, and hopefully we can, when this is out, things have changed for us, and we just focus on the last push.
I mean, like you, Jordan is also from Birmingham. Did that
hmm
play a factor in you getting visibility from the club in Monterey?
Well, I would say yeah, a little bit, but when I came here, it was the first time I actually met Jordan, and I
Oh,
didn't know
okay.
him before. So, and ever since I've come, he's been brilliant for me. He's helped me grow as a player, and I think he's taught me some things that I've never known, so
Hmm.
which I can always take on later life and in my career. So it's a pleasure to have someone from England, from Birmingham especially. So
Yeah.
that's really good for me.
Last year, I went to Monterey with my kids. My son
hmm
is obsessed with sea animals, and they have a huge aquarium there that he loved. And I'll preface this by saying, like, I'm a soccer fan in general, and I have my own specific teams that I follow. But I was wearing a Timbers jersey, and we are eating at this seafood restaurant, which I can't remember the name of. But there was a table across from us rocking all Monterey Bay FC gear, and one guy looked at me and said, "You're in the wrong place." And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that you guys are this territorial. He's like, we got to
Yeah,
get you guys some real gear. What is it like playing with that fan base, and are they as territorial as I encountered?
yeah. Even me yesterday, I went out for a pizza and I saw like a kid just wearing the jersey. So everywhere you go, you see the jersey. I think the fans are really good. They try and push as much, especially on social media.
Yeah.
They're always there messaging me, and I see them commenting on a lot of stuff and having a big input. And I just think in general with soccer, like fans are everything because they give you that buzz in the stadium, and you always want to do good for them. It's like, especially for someone like me that's from England, they're like my family.
Hmm.
Like my family don't get to watch in person, so it's always good to know that there's fans there and they're supporting us all the way.
Yeah. You mentioned it as soccer. Is it
Hmm.
soccer to you now, or
I
is it
was
still
really not
football?
soccer, but just for the interview purpose, I just had to say
Okay.
it. Yeah, always football for me.
Yeah. With Monterey Bay, you've logged over 2,000 minutes and started 23 matches of the 23 that you played. How do you think the season has fared for you personally?
I think personally for me, it's been quite good. I think, as I said, the league requires a lot of like in my position, especially a lot of duels, especially like aerial duels and just
Yeah.
being very physical. So on that note, I think it's benefited me a lot. I've learned a lot of new things about certain different strikers and how to deal with different type of strikers. You know, they've got some older strikers in the league, some
Hmm.
younger strikers in the league. So I feel like for me personally, I've learned a lot. I feel like my performances have been quite strong throughout. I think I've been fairly consistent.
Hmm.
But as I said, like as a defender, when your team loses, you know, like it's obviously always going to linger around with your performance. So I think obviously like our team, we have a really good team, but I just think it hasn't obviously worked for us. But as I said, we'll keep pushing and hopefully we can get some good from it.
I mean, last season you mentioned you played for North Texas and MLS Next Pro. How did that even come about? Because to me, it seemed like such a like out of left field decision when I first heard about it.
Yeah, so when I was in England, I was struggling a little bit with injury, and I just felt like I just needed a new environment. And from young, I've never ever left Birmingham.
Yeah.
I've always been around my family, and I just always felt like one day maybe it'll be good for me to just go away and be alone and grow as a player.
Hmm.
And my agent knew a guy that was the head coach of North Texas.
Oh, okay.
And I thought I would just give it a shot. And I went there, and honestly, from the start, it was just really good. Like the environment, the facilities, um, everything about it was just good. And we had a really good team. And luckily enough, we managed to win the championship.
Hmm.
Obviously, I was captain there, and I got team of the year, and I had a really good season. So it was really good for me to just go somewhere alone. And obviously, I learned a lot of things off the pitch, like how to cook and how to do some things around the
Yeah.
house. It was really good for my development.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, championship, best 11, captain, amazing first season. And it's
Mhm.
becoming more and more commonplace to have players shuffling between Next Pro and USL. How
Mhm.
would you compare the two leagues, either in like their similarities or their differences?
Okay, I would just say, in my opinion, in Next Pro, they're very young.
Yeah.
So when I was playing, I was 22, just 21 turned 22. So the oldest guy there was always like 24.
Mm.
So like obviously, just off the ages and the experiences, the challenge is just a bit different because it's a lot physical in USL. The game speed is a lot quicker, and in Next Pro, you have some guys coming down from the first team to like strengthen the second team. So there's a lot of rotation in the team, and I think there's definitely a big difference just because of the age. To be honest,
Yeah.
yeah.
You talk a lot about Birmingham and being a quote unquote Birmingham boy. What exactly does that entail? Because when I think of a player from Birmingham, I think of like a hard nosed, scrappy type of player. Maybe
Mhm.
not someone with like finesse, like some players, but they're out there giving 110% every game and
Yeah,
being someone who, frankly, just doesn't take shit from anybody. What's
yeah.
it like growing up there, and what makes the players so different?
Growing up there is very difficult. Obviously, like everyone always, especially in football, like everyone always wants to play for the London teams.
Hmm.
Teams like Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea. because obviously they live a good life, like luxury life, and
Yeah.
the facilities there are really nice. But when you play for teams like Birmingham and you come against them teams, you always know that they don't like to be rough. They don't like that type of battle. They're really tight
Yeah.
players. So just being always like overlooked, you always have to bring that other side that people don't want to do. So just growing up from Birmingham, you're always taught just to be strong, like especially in football, like just show your passion. Even when you're losing, keep pushing, have that second gear. And one of my coaches always taught me to always have a fire in your belly for football and never give up because you never know what can happen from it.
Yeah, I mean, at least from the States, we kind of look at England and the English game as something steeped in like culture and history. And
Mhm.
while the States, we're like a legit 100 years behind most clubs in terms of that history. How do you think the US stands in terms of competitiveness and infrastructure of like the academies and facilities compared to back home?
Yeah, I don't know too much about the academies here because obviously I haven't really experienced it.
Yeah.
But just off like the States in general, I think there's some really good players here, really good technical players and players that know the game a lot. I think it's really good that in the States they have a mix of like international players and especially coaches now that are moving
Yeah.
to the States to try and mix it up a bit. So I think it's growing and every year it's growing and it's only getting better. And my experience from the USL, I think it's a really good league. It's challenging. You never really know what you're going to get from it, and I think there's a real competitiveness. So I think it's good in the States. I would definitely consider it to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, one thing at least from me on the differences that comes to mind is I don't know if you heard it last year when Pep Guardiola said that it's exhausting to come to London from Manchester.
Mhm.
It's basically like a 4.5 hour bus trip. You've
Oh,
been in the US for 2 years now. You know how bad the travel is here. Do you think Pep would lose his mind if he was going to be a coach in
yeah,
the US? But
yeah,
what do you actually like make of the travel here? And is
yeah.
it
The
as
travel is
difficult as people think?
yeah, it is really difficult, especially with the weather as well. So
Yeah.
the weather plays a part. The time difference plays a part. It's really hard, yeah, especially for me. 'Cause obviously, I still haven't adjusted even being here last year.
Okay.
But as you said, you still have to go out there and, it's your job at the end of the day. You still have to work hard and give everything. So it plays a factor, but at the end of the day, they have to do it also at some point. So,
Yeah.
it's fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Earlier this year, I talked to Indiana Vasilev, who went from the U.S. to Aston Villa, which is also, in Birmingham for anyone who doesn't know. He mentioned that while there might not be a bias, he thought U.S. players were judged more in England. Do you think that's the case for U.S. player or in the U.S. for English players like yourself?
Um, Maybe just a little bit, yeah. I feel
Okay.
like there is definitely a bit of judgment, but at the end of the day, we all have to get on with it. So it doesn't really, it's not really a
Yeah.
big deal, yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're captain of the team and making best 11, you kind of let that do the talking, huh?
Exactly. As I said, it's always good and Jordan told me this, it's always good to let the football do the talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of your club career, you also represent Montserrat for their national team. You made your first senior cap in 2023. What was that moment like for you?
It was a great moment. And honestly, before that, I never really thought I would ever go there. But my manager at Birmingham that gave me my debut, he actually was the head coach there.
Okay.
And as soon as I seen that, I thought I had to go and support him. So it
Hmm.
was really good to get some experience with my national team, and hopefully I'll get many more opportunities going forward.
Yeah. I mean, they are part of CONCACAF.
Mhm.
How would you describe the playing competition on this side of the world?
It's good. We play against some really good teams. Like we played against Panama, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and they
Hmm.
have a lot of players in the MLS. So every time I go there, I feel challenged, and we have a young team. So again, it's always good to help them, and hopefully we can get some results.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Montserrat looks like a beautiful country. Have you ever been able to go?
Yeah, I went there recently when we had two games, and it's a small island. There's a volcano there.
Yeah.
There's not really much to do because the
Yeah.
population's so small. But like a boat ride across when you go to get to Montserrat, you have to get a boat from a place
Okay.
called Antigua,
Yeah.
maybe like 30 minutes, and everyone tends to go there for like to have fun, and the beaches there are really nice. So yeah, I have family there. It's really good to obviously represent the country.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, it's a Caribbean country, and it's honestly out of all the Caribbean countries, I think the most interesting.
Mm.
Little history lesson for listeners. The Caribbean is obviously made up of like a lot of small island countries, and the population is 44.6 million people. And the
Mm.
population of the team that you represent in Montserrat is 4,387,
Exactly. Yeah.
by far the lowest population. And granted, that's because, you know, the island, like you said, is one huge volcano
Mm.
and it's kind of split in between two sections, like the exclusion zone, which is like smack dab in the middle on the coastline. I know your mom was originally from there, right?
Mom, yeah.
Yeah. Um, how happy is she to be able to see her son
Well
representing the
happy, but
country?
she's so happy, but my nan is even more happy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my nan is really big on our country. And yeah, every time I'm there, she's asking me like, what's happening there, and she's always excited for me. My mom and nan both.
Are they back in Birmingham?
Yeah, they're in Birmingham because Montserrat is it's an English
Yeah.
country run by England. So a lot of my family now live in England, in Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not some like incredible investigative journalist or anything, but I know you were born in 2002.
Yeah,
You heard about the eruption that took place
yeah,
in Plymouth in 95. Basically, a dormant volcano erupted and just like horrific devastation. But,
yeah.
you know, 8,000 to 11,000 people left the country and immigrated to England. I was
Mhm.
wondering, you know, is that the case with your mom and her family?
That's the case with my nan.
Oh,
My
really?
mom, yeah, my mom was born in England, but that's the case with my nan. So she knows a lot about the country, and she's always like listening to the radio there and
Hmm.
talking to family that are still there. So yeah, my nan was part of that.
All right. Well, that's enough nerding out over history for me. Let's get to this last section, and then we'll get you out of here. Favorite thing to do on your off day in Monterey?
Favorite thing to do on my off day. I actually on my off day I like to also like train. I've been going to this place called the Lab,
Okay.
doing just like some extra work and focusing on my body.
What was it like going to the beach for the first time?
It was so nice, but the water's so cold, so
Yeah.
just staying on the sand for me.
Yeah. Have you watched the Tom Brady Birmingham documentary yet?
I watched a little bit of it, but
Okay.
not the complete documentary. No.
Okay. I'm a Atlanta Falcons fan, so anything that he does, I'm just like, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about growing up in Birmingham?
My favorite part about growing up is just playing football in the park with my friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Was there a player that you idolized the most growing up?
Yeah, my favorite player was Rio Ferdinand, and I support Manchester United because of him.
Okay. How was that growing up where you grew up?
How was it where I grew up?
Yeah, how was it growing up supporting Man United?
Oh, it was really good that they was winning back then,
Yeah.
so it's really good. Yeah.
So you spent time last year in Texas, now you're in California. Texas barbecue or California seafood?
I'm gonna say Texas barbecue.
Yeah, can't go bad. I mean, I went to Texas last year, went to Terry Black's, probably the best barbecue I've ever had.
Texas barbecue.
Yeah. Montserrat is also known for Beatles producer George Martin creating Air Studios on the island. He had people like Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney, The Police, Eric Clapton, Elton John all record there. I know you're on the younger side, but do you have a favorite Beatle?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
Any
Honestly,
any favorite musical artists of yours?
I just like just regular guys like Drake, Thames. Just I don't really listen to old music. If I
Yeah.
did, it'd be like Michael Jackson and Biggie Smalls. But yeah,
The
that's
fact
all.
that you're calling Michael Jackson and Biggie Smalls lets me know that there's a difference in
Yeah,
our age gap right now.
it's crazy.
What was it like seeing yourself on FIFA for the first time?
It was crazy. Back then, I used to play the video game every night. My mom couldn't get me off it, but now I'm a bit more chilled with the video games. But yeah, it was definitely crazy to me.
Yeah. You're a young guy. This is your second year living away from home, you already mentioned that you had to learn how to cook and all that stuff, but what's the biggest thing you miss back home?
Just my family, to be honest.
Hmm.
Nothing to beat family, and probably Nando's second.
Nando's?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in DC they have a Nando's.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so if you ever travel to Loudoun, I think you might have to make a stop over there.
Okay, no problem.
Who's the favorite, or who's your most favorite player that you played with?
Oh, oh, Jude Bellingham for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then lastly, your goals to finish out the season.
My goals are just to finish as strong as possible. Obviously, the points will take care of themselves, depending on how hard we push, but just to finish strong and finish together, and hopefully, going into the next year, we can do this again, and hopefully set some new goals for this year, for
Hmm.
next year. Sorry.
Amazing. All right, well,
Mhm.
that's been the game, the Emerald Boy, and that wraps up Nico's time here on Underway. Thank you again for joining us. Really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Do you want to let everyone know the socials where they can find you?
Yeah. So on Instagram, my name is Nico Gordon with another N at the end, and
Mhm.
that's what I really use, to be honest. I don't really be on social media too much. Yeah.
That's probably a good thing for you.
So yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you, Nico. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
Underway has been brought to you by 818 Productions. Any use of Underway, either acquired through podcast or video format that is captured by a third party with proper credentials, requires the direct written consent of 818 Productions and must be used in compliance with all requirements and restrictions stated therein.